Hello, everyone. Good evening. Look, Morgana's back. Hi, Morgana Wyllie. How are you?
Hi, Roxanne. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Everything is good. And I'm excited that you're back. If for no other reason, because for me, a selfish reason, I could not wait to talk to you in person to tell you how much I loved you and the movie, Our Italian Christmas Memories. Oh my gosh, that people ask me all the time, like in my family and friends, what's a new Hallmark movie that's your favorite? And I still just asked this question on Sunday, and I say you have to watch it. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, find it. It was a beautiful movie.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because that's the last time we talked. It hadn't
Yeah.
come out just yet.
Nope.
Yeah, so now you've seen it. How did we do? Was it authentic?
It was beautiful. The whole thing. Everything was authentic. Just everything. The even the whole going around with the recipe. So my niece, she had her own little version. So we put it up in celebration of it. And it had like I don't know how many thousands of hits. Like my family was so excited. Everybody was watching and the watching her make her sauce, but we also connected it with the movie too.
Oh,
So
cool.
you were great in it. I thought everything was real and it was sad, but it was a good sad. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And I remember what stood out to me was you had said that one of the things that wowed you or you liked the most was how you all felt like a family and wanted to stay in
Oh,
your pajamas and hang out.
yeah.
Well, that really came through. Like
Oh,
you could
good.
see that. And it was just a good movie. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Roxanne. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
You're welcome. And now, before we get into the wedding blessing bracelet. I keep calling it the wedding bracelet, and I don't know why. Like when I talk to people, but it's the blessing bracelet. But
Mhm.
before we get into that, so winning team, what was that
Yeah.
like with Christopher
Oh,
Palaha? Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was such a blast. I mean, well, going from our Italian Christmas memories to that, it was like
Mhm.
very comedic. Lots of dynamics with the cast on that one. They're so fantastic. Nadia, Chris, just their ability to make each other laugh,
Yeah.
us laugh. I've known Adil for a long time, so we saw each other on set, and it was like, okay, here
A
we go.
little
Yeah.
reunion. Now, did you realize that all of these would be coming out around each other, or you just never know?
No, I don't usually get the schedule for the releases.
Right.
I just get my shooting schedule. So
Yeah.
I just show up and do what I can, and then they come out when they come out. And this has been kind of, as we were talking before we went live, it's like back to back to back on
Yeah.
these.
I love it. I said it's a little mini marathon of you, which is good.
Yeah. People are gonna get sick of me, but
No, 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 no. All right. So, the not wedding, the
blessing.
blessing bracelet, which actually is gorgeous. I mean, beautiful. When I first saw it, I contacted Dawn, who is the creator, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. So just before we even get started, just to make sure, because we've got friends from all over,
Mhm.
we in the United States were able to see it on Easter, and it was at an odd time. It was at 7. It's actually on Hallmark Movies Mysteries tonight. When we're done, it'll be on 9 Eastern, and then it'll be on again Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. But for you in Canada, it's this Friday, correct? At 8?
That's right.
All right. And also, let me just say, if you want more of a mini marathon, all of you out there, there's winning team is on Saturday, I think around 4, I think it is. So we can watch you all over.
Back to back.
All
Uh,
right. So this story is really cool how it came about, right?
yeah.
Can you give us a little background about it?
Yeah, well, so it's a true story,
Mhm.
and that's just incredible. I remember reading the script and going like, wow, this is a pretty incredible feat. And what are we saying with this being how someone turns their life around? And
Right.
then we started having a dialogue, and I became aware of the fact that it's a true story, and that just rocked my world in the best way. And I was already excited to be part of it, but I became very excited to get to share that because it's one thing when we're telling a feel-good
Mhm.
story and it's fiction and, we all understand that it's a feel-good thing. But when you're able to portray something that actually happened, um, it's pretty incredible. And when it's as exceptional as this story was, I think that that's pretty exceptional.
It's like another beautiful story like the Christmas one, like, I love it, and again, it's on the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, so it can be a little more, I guess, intense, not as lighthearted as when it's on the Hallmark Channel, but,
Mhm.
um so I had the opportunity to talk with, Micah, and she was telling us a little bit about her character and her part, and
Mhm.
I asked her about you, and she's like, "Oh, we really didn't get to cross paths," she said, "because she's the girl, like the girl gang for Amanda, and then you were um I guess the support
I'm the
for
baddie at the bank.
no with Carlo, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so you had a reunion.
Yeah, so Carlo and I worked together on An Unexpected Christmas, a couple years ago, and it was just so nice to get to hang out with him. And so yes, all my stuff sort of takes place in one location of the story. So all of my days were nice and condensed, and Amanda, Carlo, and myself just had a blast. We just got to be goofs. I mean, obviously not on camera.
Right, 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 right.
Just while we were waiting. But it's the second time I've worked. No, it's more than this is now the third time I've worked with the director Michael and Joey, our producer. Um, and the second time with Carlos. So it just like there was a rhythm and it was so comfortable and there's so much trust there. Um, it feels so good working with people that you've got that underlying trust with, because you want to try something, no problem, let's do it. You want to do that, okay, let's go in this direction. You kind of know where you can lean on one another, what you can expect from one another, and how far to push each other, and to really get the product that you want. So it's cool.
And they're both, I love them. I think they're great. I've admired her for years when she was like, I forget what the name of the movie is now. It went right out of my head, but she was a ballerina in it. But was a ballerina. And
Yeah.
and then of course I love Carlo. I mean, I have like a crush on him.
I
He's
think he's in New York, Roxanne. You should find him. He
he's
goes
so
back and
cute.
forth.
And he has like all his different characters that he plays are so different. He's like you, like has this wide range, and it's so interesting. Like you get excited, like, oh, what are they going to do this time? It's not like a stereotype cast, whatever the wording is.
Mhm.
So I was excited. So what can you tease for those who have not seen it? Because there are some of us who have not.
Mhm.
What can you tease about? Is it Jordana, right? Yes. What can you
Jordana.
tease about your character?
Yeah, so, uh, I wanna say she's kind of all business. She is all business, but there are little flickers of other things littered throughout her as a person, and maybe motivations that, um, are under the surface that we never really unpack, but are still there for her.
Okay.
Her own actions. But yeah, yeah, she's very much letter of the law, not so spirit of the law as a person.
All right, that's good. I think that's a good description. By any chance, did you get to have a bracelet? Do you have
Yes,
one?
I can't believe I didn't wear it today. I have one. Joey, our fabulous producer, gifted me with it on my last day of shooting, and it was just so special. And it's really beautiful. I mean, they are um, simple's not the right word for it, but they're not over the top, but they're just lovely.
Yeah.
And they feel good. Like when you touch it, it feels really nice. The beads are really, the sensory is really wonderful and soothing. And Amanda would always have like sort of multiple ones on with whatever
Mhm.
outfit she had on, and it looked great. I was like, okay, this is a look. I couldn't imagine what they looked like when I was reading the script, and then when I saw them, I went, okay, I get it. I get it.
Now, I think actually I know that you can buy them through. There's a link with Hallmark, and you know what? Did you? I don't know if you realize this. I put it in the chat for others to see, but um, this Saturday, if you're in, I think it's Missouri, Grand Rapids, there's a mall there, and the two authors or the two co-writers, are there with Dawn, and they're at the Hallmark store. It's like a meet and greet from like 11 to 1. Isn't that cool?
That's so cool. I wish I was in the area. That
I
sounds
know.
awesome.
And I'm like, "Oh, I have to put that out there. I'll put it on my social media too." I just stumbled upon it on what are the do you know what the writers' names are?
Oh my gosh, on this,
I don't worry, keep going. If you don't know, I have it right here. I
if
just
you have it, pull it up. My brain is kind of floating
No,
through a few
that's okay.
different.
No, 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 I get it. I'm gonna look it up right now. So it is, and he actually commented
He
and
did.
complimented you. So it's Patrick, is it Ziegler or Ziegler?
I'd say Ziegler, but that's, I mean, that's the Alberta in me coming
Yeah,
out. So
I think so too. And then Teresa, Thome,
Tom?
Tom. Yeah. So these are their little, this is his little thing he has up. I'm gonna share it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that looks good. Anyone
And
in the
Dawn.
area, go check it
Yeah.
out for us.
Yep, and Dawn's there too. Yeah, he commented and he said that he loved to hear like what he had written come to life and with such talent. I'm like, she's wonderful and everything.
Aw, thanks, Dustin.
Yeah, I know. So people are going to love it. People are saying it's like their new favorite, like every time Easter comes, they're going to have to watch it, like that kind of
Mhm.
thing, which was good.
Mhm.
Where was this filmed?
This was in Victoria, so we went to the island for it, and, I mean, it's such a beautiful place to film. There's so many cute little areas, and for all of the scenes that Carlo and I did together, and with Amanda, it was actually I wanna say it wasn't an actual bank.
Right.
It felt like a almost like a boat rental facility that they had zhuzhed up. It was pretty incredible what art department did and what our crew did. Because I went, "We're at a marina. How is this gonna play as a bank?" And then I walked in and I went, "Oh, we're in a bank. Okay. This is great."
They did a good
So
job, yeah.
they did an
I
amazing job.
Micah was, I think she shared about the church, and she said she wasn't sure if the church was, this is how it always was, or if the set director like did something to it. She said because when you looked up, the ceiling was like in all these gorgeous Eastery type colors and artwork, and she said it was amazing. So
Yeah.
she enjoyed the set. Well, that's kind of cool. So is it a real town, like where people live in it, or were
Uh,
there other
yes. So Victoria, is part of Vancouver Island, and
right?
so there's a few different cities and then smaller communities, and Victoria is very touristy. We have some government buildings there. We have, lots of hotels. It's a bumping place in the summer, and,
Mhm.
and there's, like, amazing food, and it's just a beautiful place to go and visit, and so a lot of people live there. That's just their full-time that's their home, that's their community, and then there's you drive, 30 minutes down the road, and there's more little businesses and things like that. So by no means is it a small town. I would consider it a city.
Okay.
And it's just like it's so charactery, and it's got a lot of older architecture that just feels like 1900s, early 1900s style buildings, and like verandas, and it's just really beautiful.
That sounds lovely. I always ask because I have people that watch and they'll ask because then they like to take a trip around the set. I've had people who love Sailing to Love, so they went and to the see the lighthouse, or there was a movie and they showed this wonderful, don't ask me the names. Actually, our guests here might remember this wonderful like bridge. It's kind of scary, but when you cross over it, it's all gorgeous. So they went and visited that. So I always ask because they like to like go visit and make a vacation out of it. Now, so do I, but who knows when I'm going to get there because I'm all the way on the other side. Now,
Mhm.
yeah, we're going to look at some of the
Yeah,
things.
I just saw Robin posted, that Carlo lived he grew up on Vancouver Island, so that's actually the, that's where he's from, and so it's pretty cool that he gets to
Oh,
work there.
this
Uh,
one.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
so
As
that's
well as Rob. Very nice. Thank you, Robin.
yeah.
Good, good, good to
Good,
know.
yeah, good knowledge,
Yeah,
trivia
I
night.
won't stalk you, Carlo, I promise. Wait a minute, went out of my head now because we're laughing about this, what I was gonna ask you, but it's okay. It was something,
Easter, it was something Easter.
yes, no, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It'll come to me. All right, so I wanted to share with you some of the things that our friends here are saying.
Mm.
That Janice is saying, "No, we won't get sick of you, Morgana. One never gets tired of good acting."
That's very kind. Thank you, Janice.
Yeah. They're loving that it's a true story that makes it even more special. Arlene had a question. Who was the young man that played Dawn's son? He really brought a sincerity to his role. Carlo, and he had great chemistry as well as Amanda. Do you know who the young actor was?
Oh my gosh. Yes, well, off the top of my head, names, I feel like, when you hit that point in your day, I'm drinking my like fourth coffee of the
That's okay.
day. And I couldn't tell you what I had for breakfast or what my mom's maiden name is. Like that's where my
That's okay.
but we did a table read, like we did a Zoom table read, and we all kind of
Cool.
felt the same way where the chemistry was just really, it was really there. They were really gelling. And and he's a young man, he's not 20 something playing a teenager. He's a proper kid. So,
Good for
it's
him.
quite profound. Yeah.
Of course, I can look up his name, but I found that I thought I saw him in something else recently.
Mm.
And I always find when there is like a younger talent involved, everyone always says they were more prepared than anybody else. Like they bring it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Often.
His name is Nathan, Parrott. Parrott? I don't
Parrot.
know.
Yeah.
Parrot?
There you
Yes.
go, Nathan.
Yes.
Shouts to Nathan.
Yes, and he is amazing. He's a young guy too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's got a really bright future ahead of him.
All
If
right.
this if
And
this
that was interesting. You did a table read. So you
Yeah.
did it virtually.
Yeah, so we did a table read for our Italian Christmas memories. That was one.
Okay.
We typically don't do table reads
Mhm.
for Hallmarks, but those last two, um, and I wonder if it's, getting a read for the content, really seeing how it's going to play
Mhm.
because it's a little bit, it's less buoyant and bright and comedic,
Right,
right? We
right.
really want to see, okay, we're dipping into some heavier content here. How is this going to play? And what is the feeling evoked when we hear it out loud, and not just read it off the page with our imagination. So I think that might be part of, that's what I think. And I find it very helpful to get a sense of the tone and what the other actors are doing prior to showing up on the day. Especially when the content is a little bit deeper, like like our Italian Christmas memories and the Blessing Bracelet. So we did do a Zoom table read. So everyone was on there and we got to at least like give a little wave and see. It was kind of like watching the movie before the movie, and there was a point where I won't give any spoilers, but there's
That's
a
okay.
point in the movie, and I thank God I was muted. I'm sitting there and I'm following along on my script, and someone shows up, and I went, like audibly, and my cat goes meow, and I was like, and then I was watching the actors. I'm watching Amanda, and I was just going, okay, what's gonna happen next? Like I put my script down. I'm like, I'm not in there. I can just watch, and so
Right.
it was really lovely to get to do that. So.
Good teaser. It's a good one. That
I
was
mean,
good.
yeah, it keeps you on your toes just when you think you're like, okay, nope, twists and turns.
So again, whoever's here and hasn't seen it yet, as soon as we are done at 9 o'clock, it's on Eastern time. You can watch. You can also watch it Monday and then in Canada on Friday. All right, let's see what's over here. Gloria says, as self care to combat anxiety, stress, and improve your mood, a well known activity is to jot down daily three things for which you are grateful. I
Mhm,
love that this movie promotes this message. Oh, that's true. Oh,
mhm,
so Gloria, you liked it. You enjoyed it. Just the bracelet itself, because I remember in the previews
mhm.
where Amanda's character is Dawn, she's explaining like each like
Be
bead, okay, was like something that she was, felt she was blessed by. And
yeah,
I thought even just that, when it's on your bracelet and you're touching it, like that is true. Like that's almost a form of helping with anxiety. I have students that have things like that. So, and then it has an even more personal message. We all want one of those bracelets. We keep saying we're going to get one. I'm getting one. I know. I just have to take 2 seconds to go look it up. I've been too busy, but it's on my list. They
yeah.
better not sell out.
Yeah, there, I mean, and there's colors, there's so many colors. Mine is just like a nice neutral pink, so I can wear it with everything, and pink and silver. So yeah, it's nice. And I think mine has four. So yeah.
Micah's had like a silvery gray, I think, look to it. And I think she had the 4 on also on hers. What's this? Really looking forward to this movie. It's going to be a great weekend for seeing amazing actors working their magic. They're
Mhm.
showing you some love.
Aw, thanks, Robin.
Christina says, I read somewhere that the true meaning of the blessing bracelets are to be given to someone you want to bless. Is this true?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know. I think that's kind of what's beautiful about it is that you can use it in your own reflection, and you can also share it with people that you love and you want to share blessings with. So the history of it, we'd have to dig into and maybe talk to Dawn. If you're at the meet and greet this weekend, you should ask her.
I know. Or I should have the 3 of them on and ask them how that whole
Yeah,
story even, evolved. I think I will.
I think you should. I
I
think you
think I
should.
should too. Oh, this is my Carlo. I just have to put that up again. That's my Carlo. No, you know what? I remember what I wanted to ask. Not that we want people to stalk you, but I'm always curious about this. So you're in a city. We were talking about where it was being filmed, and you're in the city or a small town or wherever, and it's too far for you to travel back and forth to home. How do they find like a place to like protect you? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so you do have some privacy and some downtime. Like,
Yeah.
how does that work? Do they
Yeah.
find lodging for you, or is that you have to do it on your own?
No, so production's really, really amazing. They take such good care of us.
Mhm.
They Every production's a little bit different. I mean, I've definitely worked on projects where I've gone back and forth depending on the days, and so they'll coordinate like either the seaplane or the helicopter or the ferry,
Oh,
depending on how quickly you
okay.
have to go. But in this particular case, there were people who were there for extended periods of time. So one of our producers, Joey, he comes up from LA, so he's there with Michael, our director, for like months and weeks, right? So they're in more of a suite situation where they've moved in. Amanda, Carlo, they're living quite comfortably as an apartment style. If we're coming up for a few days here and there, then we've got a beautiful hotel. There's a lot of filming that happens on the island, so a lot of the hotels are very used to dealing with film productions, and so they've got it all handled for us, and they just communicate the details, and we let them know when we're coming in and out, and we
Cool.
all make it happen.
That's cool. I don't know, I always just think, how do they be okay? Like people aren't trying to like, get in their way. So you know what I mean? Like, oh, sign my autograph or stalking you. You never know. I always get curious about that. Anna White is a writer for Hallmark, and I love her. And she did oh, it was actually wonderful. It was a Christmas in July movie specifically made for it, and it was like a camp, right? So it was at a real camp. And she said that they had the actors and all, they had them up in wonderful places. She got to stay in the camp
Oh,
in one of the cabins, which were fun. They had the cabins all done up and stuff in the movie, and they were cute. And she got to stay in one of them, and she was excited by it. And I was like, "Oh, well, that's hilarious to me.
that's
That's funny." But she's such a good sport. She was good with it. But it was nice because she's a writer, and they don't always have the writer on. Like,
yeah,
and she got to be there and see everything come to life. So
yeah,
these are just it's just like a little my little thing I like to know.
yeah.
Let's see. What was this? So right here, I always love movies where women have friends who love and support them during good and bad times. I love the movie and your character, Morgana. She is a fantastic friend.
Oh, thank you.
All right. And then they're talking about the church community. Um,
Mm,
they like that, helping to work a friend. Yeah.
mm. That was a big part of this one.
Yes.
The coming
Yes.
together of the community
Yes.
and how important that is for sure.
They're talking about the beauty of the actual bracelet. It was beautiful. What was this? What's it say? Yes, Roxanne, please have Dawn and the writers on. I really loved. Okay, all right, the movie. All right, will do, will do. Someone. Normally when I have a guest come on, and a lot of my viewers are used to this. I'll ask about their career journey and whatnot. But you've been on, this is like your before, like we've talked at great length about your career journey. But someone, if you don't mind sharing like a little blurb, Christina, I think, is here, and she was curious about how you got into acting. Tell them about your theater background.
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to. So, well, I grew up dancing. I started when I was very young.
Mhm.
Um, and then from there, I transitioned into theater classes. I think I would have been 8 or 9 when I started that. Um, and I just kept trucking along. I went to a performing arts high school. I came out to Vancouver to keep pursuing it after I had graduated. And then, sort of one foot in front of the other, got me to where I am now. And so theater is like my first and deepest love, and I try and do a play every few years. There's a chance I might get a chance to do one this year. Very hopeful, but
Ooh,
we'll see if filming schedules permit. Yeah, so it was really just uh, I got into it because I had a lot of energy and a big personality, and I think my parents were like, "Someone please, like,
right, right. Yeah.
away, take
Channel it.
this child and give her an outlet." Um, so the play of it all was really, like, the literal play was really what connected and was still like, I mean, my goodness, I can't believe that I get to do this for a living. Every time I'm working, there's always a point where you kind of sit and you look at the other actors or you look at the director and you go, this is our jobs. Like, this is what we're doing for a living, and we're working really hard, and these are
Mhm.
long days. Sometimes you're there for 18, 20 hours. Just kidding, you're never there for 20 hours, but you get like your minimum 12-hour day kind of thing. And everyone's working really hard. And if you're somewhere remote like Victoria, you don't
Mhm.
necessarily get to see your family in the evenings or weekends. You're just all in on this job, but it's fun. It's like summer camp. It's like you're playing pretend and you're telling stories, and you get to share that with people. And that's pretty cool. So I got into it because I loved it, and I continue to do it because I love it. And
And
I'm blessed.
that's the best thing when you actually do something you love. That's not everybody has that, which I love teaching. That was I always wanted to be a teacher. It was something I love doing, and I love talking to people. So
Mhm.
I get to be a podcaster, and I get to meet all kinds of cool people. And then when I'm teaching all day long, I'm like, the day's over. So it's so great when you have that wonderful passion for what you do.
Yeah.
And we are lucky. And you know what? It shows because when you are on the screen, we could tell, you know what I mean? You're all in. You're really, I don't say this because I'm doing like lip service, but I love all of your movies, everything you're in. I'm always waiting for something new to come out. That's why I'm always like hunting and looking around, like, who doesn't think I'm a stalker? But no, I appreciate everything that you do.
Oh.
And it shows you love it, comes out. Um, what was this was Gloria said, I love this movie. The single mother struggling to survive life and support herself and her son, surrounded by her wonderful supportive friends and a new love interest. It was wonderful. Oh. And then they're telling me, I guess Jan is telling me this. She's saying that in Upper Montclair, which I'm from New Jersey, so she's
Mhm.
talking about Montclair, New Jersey, was some place that used to have a lot of filming. And that's true. And I think people in the area respect the actors, etc., and don't bother them.
Yeah. Or they're sick of us. Like, sometimes they're like, get this film crew out of here. They're taking up our parking again. We just want to drive down the street and walk our dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these pylons in the way. So
Well, I didn't even think of it like that. That's true.
yeah.
Um, Robin's saying yes. Most people in Vancouver Island, respect the actors for the most part as a big film province. Okay, my son-in-law works in the industry, making sets, etc. There's a lot of respect. Oh, he makes sets. Robin, was he? I should have him on.
Yeah, you
Oh,
should.
I'm sure he
It's
does.
amazing. The
Yeah.
the art department on these films, like, they really do a lot of crazy stuff. It's fantastic.
The set is like all the sets, like we pay attention to the detail that they put in it. It makes it so realistic. And
Mhm.
all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, like there's so much magic that's happening. And then, of course, we're so used to thinking, oh, whatever's in front of the camera. Like I've learned a lot, like how hard working everyone is to make a story. Do you have any favorite places to film or wish
Oh,
a place?
I would love to go and film something in New York. I have been watching Succession, uh,
Oh,
just started season 4, and
yes.
I'm like, "Get me on a show in New York." I mean, it's a certain kind of show that films out there, but I send me out, put me in coach. I think that that's definitely on my list.
You won't be far from me.
I know, I'd have to hit you up. We'd go for
We
coffee.
we would have to see each other. That would be fun. All right. Okay. Now, before we say goodbye, and I'm sure there'll
Yes.
be some people saying whatever over here. I don't want to keep you forever. I wanted to talk to you. So the last time we chatted, we also talked about this passion. You were very passionate about you were co-producing and it was like I think it's something the same writer that did Peter Pan and it was
Yeah.
okay.
So it was
Okay.
it's a J.M. Barrie. It was,
Yes.
yes, so the intellectual property was J.M. Barrie, and it was
Okay.
based on one of his plays, Mary Rose, and he wrote Peter Pan, and so this is sort of an adaptation of that, and it's a genre thriller film, and,
It's
yes, that's the one.
so it's the island between tides,
You
right?
got it, yeah, you have such a good memory,
All
yes.
right. Now tell me this though, because I was so fascinated by it. Where can we see this? Where
Well,
is
you
it?
Yeah, you can't see it just yet. We're biding our time and
All
just
right.
deciding what festival is gonna be the best fit to premiere at.
Okay.
So once we have that, then we will figure out when we're gonna release it sort
Okay.
of publicly. It will be on Super Channel, we know that much.
Okay.
We are a Canadian distributor, but first we're going to have it premiere at a festival. So,
All right.
yeah.
So I was like, I've been watching and waiting, and I thought, did I miss it? That's why
No.
I was even going to send your manager, like, by any chance, did I miss it? Where can we see it? Because I've been looking all over and couldn't find it. All right, so we'll just still keep our eye out on that one.
Yes, when we have details, I'll definitely let you know.
Okay. And I noticed that you have a young actress, a younger actress. She has a part on it, and I do believe she's a new character on When Calls the Heart. I was like, oh, I was doing my little research, and I'm like, oh, she's on. Oh, I'm going to get to watch her and have to see what she's doing because she looks
Is
like
it Ruby?
yes,
Yeah, aw,
yes,
yes.
yes. Okay,
Ruby
so
Tucker. Yeah, she's one to watch, guys. That kid's gonna be a star for sure.
all right, I'm loving that. Thank you, Morgana, for being with us tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is just so nice to catch up and see how you are and chat about all of this wonderful stuff.
I know everyone's saying like goodbye, hello. I mean, not hello, good night, all that good stuff. So
Bless
we're
you.
gonna say our good nights. We'll say good night real quick too after
All
we
right. Thanks, everyone.
we're gonna watch Saturday. We can see Winning Team, but Friday at 8 on the W network is when it premieres in Canada, right? And tonight we're gonna catch it at 9.
Tune into the Blessing Bracelet.
Yes.